Okay, today is day 4 of force fetch with Bexley. So yesterday where we left off, she was really confidently reaching for the dummy out of my hand and was just starting to take dummies up off of the floor. So we'll start the training session by reviewing. So we'll use a dummy she already knows and have her reach for it. Just wait. Fetch. Yes, good girl, come here. Good girl. See how eager she is to get going this morning? You know, once they start to figure out what you want, they're generally really excited to get to work. I mean, these aren't gun dogs that were bred to like having a job. Fetch. Yes, good girl, good girl. So we've just used 2 dummies that we've used all along. Drop. But I want to introduce a couple new dummies today as well, and this is the best time to do it. Here, sit. Good. So this is still a small dummy, but it has these flaps on it kind of to simulate wings. It's a little different for her to grip, so we'll try this one. Fetch. Yes, good girl. Good. Good dog. Drop. Okay, no issues with that one. Good. Here. Sit. And then we'll try this large, hard plastic dummy, which we've done a large canvas dummy. This large plastic one is generally one dogs don't like as much. We'll use it next. Ready? Fetch. Yes, good. Just good getting them used to all sorts of different dummies, because eventually we're going to introduce different kinds of game as well, and maybe even antlers. Drop. We just want them to understand fetch means fetch whatever I command you to, whatever it is. Good girl. Okay, so that was a good quick review, and we introduced a couple new dummies. So now it's back to having her pick up dummies off the ground. So we always start as easy, we always start as easy as possible. So we're going to switch back to a familiar dummy for this to start with. Stay. Back to old reliable little canvas dummy. And I think we'll start again just easing her into it, so I'll move with her. She's really tuned in. So we'll set it down. Ready? Okay. Yes, good girl. Good. Good dog. Drop. Good job. All right, I'm going to try taking off the leash. You know, it kind of gets in the way with him stepping on it. I just need to make sure that I can get her to come back to me. So we'll do really short retrieves to make sure that still works out. All right, come here. We'll do it one more time with the dummy she's familiar with. Sit. Back. Stay. This is about 6 feet. Just wait. I like her enthusiasm, but we're far enough along now that I can enforce a little more obedience as well. Ready? Fetch. Yes! Good girl. Very nice. Good job. And it's pretty common to have to call them still at this point, especially these dogs that haven't had a ton of obedience work. Well, that's fine. So that's why we do this inside first. In another day or two, once she gets 100% in here, then we'll move outside. All right, come here. And then it's even more important to have a reliable come command. Stay. All right, so this is the large canvas dummy that we've used in past days. I'm just going to extend the distance just a little. So this is more like 8 feet. It's important to take the time to really line them up for the retrieve. I know this is a simple mark. She can see it very obviously, but eventually we're going to want to transition to blind retrieves. And when you get to blind retrieves, just setting them up and having that routine is so important for them so they can feed off your physical cues. All right, ready? And we don't send them till they're looking in the right direction. Fetch. Good girl. That's a good dog. That was excellent. Good girl. Drop. Good. All right, I'm going to try a new dummy at that same distance. Come on. Good. So we're here at about 8 feet again. With this large plastic dummy that's new for today. They're all lined up. Ready? Back. Fetch. Yes, good girl. She didn't take the most direct route back, but she did make the right decision and come back. Good girl. Drop. Good girl. Good. Now we're ready to really extend the distance, so we're going to go out of the view of the camera lens. Here. Back. Sit. Stay. All right, I'm going to switch to the other dummy that's new for today, this winged canvas dummy. So the key to force fetch is, in addition to building them up, but we need to also continue challenging them and building up what they're capable of doing. They almost need to fail at some point so that we have the opportunity to correct them. So we need to keep pushing, keep giving her new challenges. Ready? It's good that she's willing, but again, we'll enforce obedience. Ready? Sit. It's tough too when it's a client dog that I've only lived with for 5 days, so she's still learning what my typical cues are for send. Ready? Fetch. Good. Good girl. Good. So that was about a 15-foot retrieve. Good girl. Good dog. Drop. Good. That's so good. Very nice. Okay, once they're doing this well, then we need to continue increasing the level of difficulty. So another quick drill we can do in the house is start working on like double marked retrieves. I like doing these too because it teaches the dog that how to take a line, because I'm going to throw 2 dummies and send her 2 different directions, but she'll start to understand why I'm really lining her up. So we'll just put 1 dummy this direction, and we're switching back to easy dummies, and I guess we'll do 1 dummy this direction. And I want to pick the dummy I send her for. Come here. I'm going to bring her up so it's a more obvious line. Typically dogs want to retrieve the last dummy they saw dropped. Sit. So I want to help her succeed at first, so I'm going to send her for last dummy first. Ready? Make sure she's looking the right way. Back. Yes, good girl. Hey, come on. Hey. Come on. That's pretty common when you first start doing double marks, is they want to retrieve both of them. So she retrieved dummy number 1, and then instead of bringing it back to me, she went off to try to cram dummy number 2 in her mouth as well. Drop. Probably should have left the leash on for that. Girl. But that's okay. That's why I yelled at her so much, or tried to encourage her to bring that first one back. It's just something that they'll learn with repetition. So now I'm going to line her up for this other dummy, just so she gets that this is my line that I want her to take. Good. Ready? Fetch. Yes, good girl. Good job. I give her tons of praise because I just yelled at her for trying to pick that one up. So she needs to understand that I did want her to get it. I just wanted her to pick them up in the order in which I had designated. Good girl. Drop. That's such a good girl. Good. All right, she's doing so well that I think we will introduce another new dummy to her. This one is quite large and quite difficult to pick up. Here, let's turn her. Right here. Sit. Good. All right, we're going to introduce her to the pheasant Dokken dummy. This dummy is quite large. It can be quite difficult for new dogs to pick up. We've also taped pheasant wings on it. So it is an attractive dummy for most dogs. They really like the actual bird scent, but it's just so much bigger than what we've been working with. It's kind of unevenly balanced for weight. And whenever we introduce a brand new dummy, we need to start back at step 1, which is just you need to retrieve it out of my hand. So we'll try that first. Ready to go? Fetch. Yes, good open her mouth big enough. Right here. Good. Good girl. She did figure it out. So, drop. If your dog is struggling with that, just picking up that larger dummy out of your hand, then certainly keep doing it. Just have some repetition, maybe switch back to a slightly smaller dummy to help them build back up to that. But since she did grab it right away, we'll progress to the next step, which is, of course, picking it up off the ground. Come here. Sit. Stay. And we'll go with the short distance so that I can easily correct her if she needs any assistance. So this is only about 6 or 7 feet again. Ready? And mark. A little distracted by dogs outside. Fetch. Good girl, come on. Fetch. Let's go. Yes, good girl, come on. And this is why we have to keep challenging them. Good girl! She still didn't recognize that she absolutely must retrieve it. So I did have to give her some assistance there. She got a little bit of an ear pinch. Drop. Because this is such a tough dummy, I did just angle it so it was easier for her to get the good grip on it. Again, I want to help them succeed while still teaching them something. Good. That was a good girl. But with that minor correction, she was able to complete the retrieve. So let's try it again now that she knows I'm serious. All right, come here. That's such a good girl. Sit. Good. Stay. Are you ready? Okay, fetch. Fetch. Yes, good girl, good girl. Let's go, fetch. So don't let them get away with it if they try to. Good girl. If they try to avoid the retrieve or not complete it. Good. That's such a good dog. She was a little unsure there. She tried to walk away. You can't let them win. Good. That's so good. And again, it's just such a big, awkward new dummy. Come here. So since she struggled with that, now we'll take a step back and do something easier. So we'll go to the squirrel dummy that she doesn't always love. Most dogs do. But just has the squirrel hide just zip tied onto a plastic dummy. And again, we'll back way up because whenever you are applying extra pressure on the dog, you want to make sure that you back off to build up confidence again. So we'll go all the way back to just a comeback drill. Ready? Okay, fetch. Yes, good girl. Back. Here. Good. That's a good dog. Good girl. Drop. Good. She wasn't quite as enthusiastic about that as I'd hoped, so I'm going to do that one more time. Good girl, come here. Good. Oh, so good. Sit. Do you want it? Ready? Fetch. Let's go, fetch. Yes, good girl. Trying to baby tack her a little, get her a little fired up about these other dummies. This is why we have so many different dummies, because if you just work with 1 or 2 dummies the whole way through, you might think that your dog's doing excellent because they just happen to like that particular dummy. So we need to make sure that we mix it up so that we can see where the dog's faults are and help them to work through their preferences to just retrieve anything that you set out for them. She's not particularly thrilled about it still. Come here. So we'll switch back to an easier dummy. Back. Sit. Immediately. Stay. She likes this dummy, so we can push her a little harder. Ready? Sit. Fetch. Yes, good girl. Good. Good job. Good dog. That's a good dog. Drop. You can see that she's lost a little bit of enthusiasm. So rather than trying to push back up to that pheasant dummy that she struggled with, I think it would be better to end today by just doing another big, long, fun retrieve with another dummy she's more comfortable with. So we'll go back to one of the easy dummies. Come here. I want to end this session on a positive note, sit. Doing something that she likes, but also building on a skill that helps push her further from yesterday. Right, you ready? Sit. Again, appreciate the enthusiasm, but you gotta wait. Ready? Fetch. Good girl. Good job. She had a little trouble with the pickup there just because she had a paw on the string of the dummy. So she couldn't pick it up because she was holding it down, but she figured it out. Drop. Very nice. And really, that's excellent progress. So on day 4, having her do 15-foot pick up off the ground drills is excellent. Good job. So that's enough for us to call it a day for today. Tomorrow, we will probably do some more of the double marked retrieves. We'll continue extending the distance on pick up off the ground, and we'll go back to that pheasant Dokken dummy and see if we can get her more excited and confident about picking up such a large, awkward dummy too. But good girl.